Let's be real, we all want to get smarter, but the path to actually doing it, it's kind of messy. In fact, a lot of the advice you hear can lead you down a very, very strange road.
So the source material for this whole explainer kicks off with this zinger. And it's funny because it kind of stings. It hits on this real fear that we spend years and years in school chasing degrees to become smart, only to find out the real world, well, it doesn't always reward that path the way we thought it would.
Okay, so let's really dig into the core of the problem here. Why does so much of the advice on getting smarter just feel completely useless? It turns out the conventional wisdom is often just, well, wrong. So you basically get two flavors of advice. On one side, you have the absolute marathon of traditional school. We're talking decades of learning. And on the other, you've got these little internet hacks that promise a quick fix. The problem? Both of them completely miss the point. And this just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? So much of this self-help stuff sounds incredibly deep, but it's completely impractical for a normal person. You get that little 5-minute rush of inspiration, and then, boof, you're right back where you started, no smarter than before.
Because look, at the end of the day, all the blueberries and black coffee in the entire world won't help if you're not actually engaging with new information. Those hacks, they're just tiny little optimizations. The main event has always been and will always be the real work of learning something new.
And this brings up a much bigger question, right? When we say we want to be smarter, what do we really mean? It's almost never about crushing an IQ test. It's about real, tangible things we can do in the real world. Come on, let's be honest, this is the real list. We want skills that actually have value. We want to be the person who can figure stuff out, and yeah, maybe flex just a little bit. We want to hold our own in a conversation and have people respect what we know. It's about being practical, not just a walking encyclopedia.
So if all the old advice is broken, what's the actual answer? Well, it's beautifully, almost ridiculously simple. It all comes down to reading. But reading with a purpose. And you get totally different superpowers from each type of book. Fiction is amazing. It expands your vocabulary, literally makes you a faster reader, and yeah, sometimes it just feels nice to have some friends in a story. Nonfiction, though, that's your toolkit. That's where you get the practical skills and the cool facts that you can actually use in your life. Okay, you have to pay attention to this next part because it is absolutely crucial. Knowing things is only half the game. The other half is knowing how to share that knowledge without making everyone in the room want to slowly back away from you. Ugh, we all know this person, the well, actually guy. They use knowledge like a weapon to correct people and prove they're right, and it just instantly makes them unlikable. This is the exact opposite of what we want to do. Now compare that to this. See the difference? It's collaborative. You start by agreeing. It is crazy, right? You bring them onto your team. Then you gently offer up this cool thing you just learned. You're teaching, but you're not making the other person feel stupid. This is how you earn respect. All right, we've covered reading and we've covered sharing, but there's one final, non-negotiable piece of the puzzle. If you skip this step, everything else just falls apart. You have to actually use what you learn.
And here's the really cool part. It's super efficient. The source brings up the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. And when you apply it to learning, it means you only need to really get about 20% of the core ideas to get 80% of the results.
You can see it right here on the learning curve. That first chunk of effort, that first 20%, gives you this massive 80% return in skill. Going from pretty good to a world-class master takes way, way more work. So the key is just to get in there and practice the basics. That's the biggest bang for your buck.
I absolutely love this analogy. It is perfect. You can watch 100 videos on how to tie a tie, but until you actually have the fabric in your hands, fumbling and twisting it around, you haven't learned a thing. Reading gives you the map, but practice is you actually walking the path.
But okay, what happens when you can't practice something right away? This is where a cool little mental trick comes in called simulation. It's basically a dress rehearsal in your brain. You vividly imagine the whole process, tricking your mind into thinking it's already done a practice run. Let's make this super concrete. Say you read how to jump start a car. You probably don't have 2 cars just sitting there ready for an experiment. So what do? You find a video. And as you watch it, you mentally put yourself in the driver's seat. You imagine popping the hood, finding the battery, connecting the red cable, then the black cable, the whole 9 yards. Your brain logs that as an experience, and the knowledge sticks. So let's wrap this all up. The method is incredibly straightforward. Number 1,
read, get the knowledge. Number 2, go practice it immediately. Apply what you just learned. And number 3, if you can't practice it for real, simulate it. Run through it in your head. That's it. That's the whole playbook.
And that really brings us to the end. You have the framework. It's simple, it's powerful, and it's ready to go. The only question left is the one right there on your screen. What's the first thing, the first skill, the first topic, the first idea that you're going to take from just passive knowledge and turn into real active intelligence?